I want to share with you about separation anxiety because it is a very common topic, probably way much more common during COVID because everybody was home and everybody wanted a companion. But it is still very common right now because there are still people who are working strictly remote or they're working hybrid positions. And separation anxiety has become a very hot topic from that. I will explain to you guys about my personal experience and also about how you can tell if your dog has separation anxiety, what you can do to help with the separation anxiety, and where it actually stems from. Where does separation anxiety start, or how does it even develop? So, separation anxiety actually starts with you. You, as the owner, or if it's not you, it must have stemmed from the past experience from the dog. Why do I say that it stems from you? Is because I made this mistake myself with my own dog. I became very attached to my dog and I did anything and everything with her. I took her everywhere with me. If I didn't take her everywhere with me, I was home with her all day. This got to the point where she and I bonded very, very well. And we both ended up having an over attachment and over bonding with each other that it became a problem that if I was to leave the house and my husband was home with her, she would whine and cry throughout the whole day or throughout the whole time until I got home. That was a big, big problem. It really does stem from me because I am her caretaker. I'm the one who got her to that position. That's what happened with me. It might not have happened with you, but that's usually the case. And it's okay to take that accountability and it's okay to admit that you are the cause of it. I am the cause of it, of my dog being that way. And I know that I am, and I'm not going to deny it. And it's totally okay. It's completely normal. Everybody goes through it as well. But the other factors that can contribute to separation anxiety or anxiety, it can stem from their past experience, like a traumatic experience. Maybe they might have came from a home that didn't treat them well or something must have happened, or they must have lost their previous owner or they lost a companion to them. That can contribute to it too. If those are not the contributions, there can also be genetic contributions. Some breeds are just prone to having separation anxiety, or it could be a genetic thing where it's, just passed down the bloodline. I know this could be a cause because my dog that has separation anxiety, some of her siblings also ended up having separation anxiety too. So I kind of had an idea that it was like a genetic thing. But if it's not a genetic thing, it could also be a neurological thing. So if something's just not wired properly in their head, but it is something that might be neurological, check just to make sure if there might be like a medical condition too. Because what if it's not an actual neurological thing and it's like a medical condition that can cause them to feel that they need you around for comfort and they develop that separation anxiety? How can you tell when your dog has separation anxiety? They usually display these kind of behaviors with separation anxiety. It ranges from about like mild to severe. And usually when it's like mild, it's just barking, whining, pacing back and forth. But usually they're able to calm down within like 5 to 10 minutes. So that's just very mild. However, if it becomes severe, it can get to the point where they're consistently barking, whining, pacing, drooling, destructive chewing. It can also get to the point where they're pooping and peeing on themselves or they end up hurting themselves. And those are considered severe. This actually takes a longer time to train them out, and it won't happen instantly because it's already something that's been instilled in their mind, and it's going to take a while to be able to train them out of that. So, how can you help? In order to help them with their separation anxiety, this is kind of like the general training. If you are looking to help a dog with severe separation anxiety, I say to seek professional help and also get them medically checked by your vet to get a medical opinion on it. These are the general training that I would recommend. Teaching them to be alone. Because with separation anxiety, the reason why they had that attachment with you is because they weren't properly taught to be alone and be okay being alone. You want to start out doing it slowly and then gradually increase the time after that. The other thing with separation anxiety is that it's also a trial and error when it comes to training. You kind of have to see what works and what doesn't work. For example, when you do the gradual desensitization with training to be alone, you want to start out small And you can either start in a crate, or you can start in a room or an area where they're a little secluded, but they still hear everything that's going on, because some dogs can be really good being in a crate, but some dogs, they are not good in a crate at all. So it's better if they're in an open wide area or open room, so that they don't feel as trapped. But like I said, it's a trial and error. You have to try and see what works for the dog and what doesn't, because based on the severity of the case and based on the comfortability of the dog, it depends on what they consider an actual comfortable space for them. And when you do train them to be alone, you want to give them something to keep them occupied as well. For example, you can do frozen Kong with their wet food inside, or you can just throw like treats inside of the Kong, something to keep them busy. Give them a reward and praise them for being calm in a calm environment. If you also want to test to see how well they do, I usually would set up a camera and watch them and watch the way how they react when I'm gone, when I step out for a few seconds or so. That's how I would test and train them to kind of understand what their threshold is, because the threshold is how long they can endure being alone. So that's how you can kind of tell if your dog has separation anxiety, what you can do to help them and where it stems from. But I'm going to let you know you are not alone. You are not the only one that's going through this. It is really, really tough, but you just have to be very consistent and make sure that you put your training in, and it will help, and it will help in the long run. You can also try, if anything, if it doesn't work, any of these trainings don't work, or you want to find other solutions, you can try even getting Adaptapil, which is like Adaptapil or something. I forgot what the name is, but it's basically a diffuser that releases the pheromones of a dog mom smell, so that it'll help them calm down. It has worked for my dog that has separation anxiety, but only to an extent, because she was at a more severe case. And the other thing that you can do is get calming dog toys. There are such thing out there. I've never tried them before. I've seen them. I never tried them. But if anybody has, let me know how it went. The other alternative is to try the calming pills. I've tried that too. It has helped my dog a little bit. Those have worked to an extent. So if your dog isn't severe, it probably will help. You can do it, try the trainings, and if it seems like you've been doing it for a couple months and it hasn't made any improvements, then I would say to seek a veterinary behaviorist so that they can provide more expert opinion and help you with that, or seek out a dog trainer who has experience with separation anxiety so that they can help you with the situation.